Would you look at that? Now that isn't the lap, but it's certainly the knees of luxury. Look at the pools there and the amenities, things which many people can afford and enjoy. Not me, not yet, maybe someday, hopefully, possibly. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the Sometimes Blow! Look who we got here!
Woo!
Look who we got!
That hurt my voice.
Right here, look at it. You actually coughed for once.
I did.
We threw you off the scent.
Yep.
We threw you right off the trail. We
Yeah,
did
I'm
it,
not used to
gang.
that.
We did it. It was the power of the Cobra.
Wow.
We used it to punch Tyler's throat
Nice.
into oblivion.
I feel handsome.
Why don't
about
you
it.
have the power?
Oh, I just never have. I got the sarcasm.
Are you afraid of being as powerful as I
I have
am?
the sarcasm of the snake.
I don't think that's going to be a thing.
We'll see what happens.
The hashtag?
Yeah.
There's the hashtag for you. What is the hashtag on that?
Sarcasm of the snake or sarcasm of the snail, whatever you want.
Oh, I like the snail.
Yeah.
Actually, even better. Separates it from the cobra a little bit.
Yeah.
Sarcasm of the snail.
Yeah.
He is not quick,
Nope.
except he's quick-witted.
Well, but not on my feet.
Quick-witted like a snail. That's a phrase that's
Yeah.
common in France.
I remember reading it.
So,
Yeah.
it's the Sometimes Vlog. We are fleeing Trader Sam's, where I don't really drink.
Yeah.
But Tyler and I have had one adult beverage each. I actually consumed the entire thing. Totally fine. This is a while ago. And we've been sitting there having a conversation and unpacking some crazy stuff. But before we even get to that, guys, on the Sometimes Vlog, I couldn't abandon you today, although I really would have liked to take a breather today, for reasons you'll find out in a little bit. Tyler and I were just co-buddies
Yeah.
in a new thing. It's a thing called a film.
Kind of.
Or a TV show. Look at this,
Disneyland
Cat. I forget this one's name, but this one's always at the hotel. I'm always trying to find it on Periscope. Every time I Periscope here, it's on the Periscope. And then nobody ever believes me, like, oh yeah, right, like you've seen it before. I always see that. Oh, let's go look at the Utopia car. Well, why not?
Oh, I mean,
why not? Okay, so Tyler and I were in a recent thing called a feature film.
Nope.
A television show.
Nope.
A Netflix original series.
Nope.
We were in a Random Land episode. I don't remember what the title is, but it's the most recent one where Tyler and I went to an art museum together.
Yep.
We really wanted to class up the joint, to
Go
tone
LACMA,
up the
go
joint.
full LACMA.
Well, go full LACMA, Los Angeles County Museum of Art, LACMA. Maybe you should sit in this while we tell the story. I feel like that would be a better vlog. Tyler sitting in an Autopia car. Look it, there he is. Tyler, that is not how you get in a car.
Maybe not where you're from.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
In Georgia, that's how we do it.
And you sure you had no other drinks before or something?
Just the one.
Just the one. So there he is.
I'd really like to drive this back to my actual car.
What did you say?
I would really like to drive this back to my actual car.
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be neat if somebody just gave us the special key? Wait, look, it's like you're running me over. Ah! 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 I like that. That's the picture. That's the featured image. Okay, you can get out of the Autopia car. Isn't it neat though?
It is very hard.
Does
to
it
get
feel
in and out
neat?
of. Yeah.
I like seeing you awkwardly get in and out of the thing. Okay, so the story is Tyler and I were in an art museum, much like this hallway here at the Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California. Tyler and I were in an art museum. We were wandering through with a camera, a much more camera-looking
we are
camera
wont to do.
than this phone, and we would come up to art, and we would say things to it. There's a line in the Random Land episode, go see it, youtube.com/livefasttypepoor, where it's actually Tyler repeating it. In real life, he said it to me first, and then I, for once, was like, okay, say that again on camera, because it's super funny. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
Like
the
the
nature
vlog.
of the world. And he turned to me and said, what'd you say?
I said, there's no sign that says that you can't eat spaghetti, but like they would frown on it.
And I lost it. And this security lady was watching me lose my mind at the funniness of the fact that Tyler was bringing up eating spaghetti in an art museum and how it would probably be frowned upon.
Yeah,
it was the phrasing of it was great. And I then saw that security lady 30 minutes later after Tyler asked if a statue was pooping.
Yeah, which it was.
Which he's convinced it was. You can see it in the Random Land. It gets
You tell
it
me,
gets
but
feisty.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It gets feisty in that one. So maybe put the kids to bed. Not literally, but maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's really.
It's art, so it's cultural.
Nothing we do is really.
Nothing we do is really good.
Well, but it's not bad for kids to watch.
No, but it's probably great for them.
Yeah.
And their young minds. But the long story short is we got kicked out of this art museum, and a lot of people watched the Random Land episode and asked, but wait, I don't get it. Why did you get kicked out of the art museum? I guess we left it a little more vague than we meant to.
I thought it was clear. Yeah.
So the reason is because after Tyler, because what they don't really see is the actual timeline of it.
Yeah.
You guys are seeing cuts. Is that right after Tyler asked if the statue was pooping, a woman came out and said, we needed to stop filming.
Yeah.
And I had expressed to her my dissatisfaction with being told that, as I, by the way, we're looking at this massive display case of Disney paraphernalia, so I'm going to let you look at that while I'm talking. I was expressing my dissatisfaction with the idea that we were going to have to stop filming because we had spent quite a lot of money on tickets and other things to be there. We had checked and made sure it was okay with filming, it was okay with everybody to film. Everybody was cool with it. Literally, we called the president of art, and he was even cool with it.
Don
And
Johnson
this
from Miami
guy was
Vice.
cool with it. Everybody was into it.
We talked to many security guards while we were filming.
That's
and
true.
Everyone said it was
Everyone
cool.
was happy. People were snickering softly at the jokes. No one was LOLing, but
everything was cool.
Everything was fine. And then she said that the reason we couldn't film is because she thought we were going to circumvent the security there.
Yeah.
She used that word multiple times, and I don't think she used it always in the appropriate context. But
It
she
is a
did use
word.
It is a word, so we'll let her have it. And said that basically the long story short was, she said that we could be filming the security so that we could pull off an art heist.
The world's lamest art heist.
Tyler and me and a ceramic bowl worth at least $200.
That if you took anywhere in the world, they'd be like, oh, well, this is one of a kind, probably from a museum. Let me call the police. Yeah, like, come on.
I mean, yeah, we wouldn't get far with that one.
No.
So basically, this woman didn't like Tyler's sense of humor, is
Yeah.
really what it boils down
Kinda.
to. And so she ejected us from the art museum. We're not bitter or angry. It
No.
actually ended up being kind of funny, we thought at the
Yeah.
time. I was actually a little angry.
Yeah, but
At the time, I was a little feathers
ruffled.
ruffled. I don't know if I was angry, but I was a little feathers ruffled about it.
Your feathers were ruffled.
So I didn't want to get on camera and complain, so I just did the funny line at the end about, like, at this point we were kicked out for crimes against art. But that's almost literally what happened.
Yeah.
Is that Tyler was making cracks. No, you weren't even joking about the art. Well, the pooping guy, I guess you were joking.
That
a
was
little
the
bit about
only
the statue.
word.
The only one that you actually
That was the only
mocking.
one where I was like really riffing.
Yeah, and so Tyler made a joke about the art, and this lady just didn't like
It
it.
was really just jokes about how we couldn't understand beautiful art.
Really, it's not a joke about the art. It's a
Yeah.
joke about how
We're
we're
making fun of ourselves,
Yeah,
like
we're
always.
making fun of ourselves like usual. Look at this. Look at, well, what do you think?
What am I doing?
Well, would you look at that?
I don't do that.
I like when you do that thing where you're like, wait, well, would you look at that?
I don't think I've ever done that.
I think you've done that quite a lot.
All right.
It's a thing.
I don't think I've ever
Do
done
it.
this
The big
before.
man. Oh, look at the big man.
Oh yeah. Oh, would you look at that? Look at the big man. Look at all his fancy art. You know, jokes like
It's
that.
a thing you do.
Yeah.
I told you.
Well, it took me a minute because I was like, I don't think I ever say, well, would you look at that? Are we walking towards
You
this?
do.
or
You
we-
do that. Well, we have to walk to our cars though because we've been here for a while. We were at the park. We were walking around. We had a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Like friends do. And then we walked around Disneyland for a while, rode Pirates of the Caribbean.
We were only going to
And
be here
have-
for like an hour. We'll get to that
We
later.
had one little thing, and then we were doing this. So, anyway, we got kicked out of an art museum, and that's how it happened. I didn't really put up a fight. We just left.
Yeah.
And we edited together what we
We
had.
never try to like kick up a ruckus. We just try to
It's
get
fine.
Out of there, yeah.
It's fine. I really feel like it was uncalled for.
I would agree. But it happened.
But
and you
we
just deal
were,
with it.
to be fair, we were being softly voiced, and we weren't bothering anybody. So why not kick us out? But look at this. Disneyland Hotel. I mean, you actually judge for yourselves whether it was worth. Should have been kicked out.
Yeah, we weren't
Watch the
bothering
video.
anyone. We weren't. We tried to go in rooms when they were empty. We
Right,
weren't
and
trying
I'm
to
not
get
even
anyone's
bringing this
way.
up to complain, but I'm bringing it up because several people have continued to ask, "Hey, man, this newest Random Land, why did you get kicked out?"
Yeah, it
It's-
wasn't like we weren't kicked out.
We weren't like kicking paintings, or we
Yeah.
weren't even being loud or disturbing other visitors to the museum either. It was just that this particular security
Yeah.
guard did not like
we didn't
us.
get shot and arrested, but they were just
No,
like,
she was just like, "You got to stop filming."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Well, there's only 30 minutes left of this museum being open, and we're not going to stay in it, not filming right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to go back to the car with the camera and come back." Because she was
Right.
pretty much no nonsense. "I don't even want you holding the camera. I don't trust you. You're totally going to try and film that guy making jokes about
But she
statues
didn't
going to
ask
the
us
bathroom."
to delete the footage or anything, just to
Nah, you know, it's fine. She just asked us to stop and leave because she didn't like the way
We were
that
respectful,
Tyler's
so we
face
did.
looked. So we left, and it's cool. But there's the story because it was asked for, not because we're complaining.
No, it was asked for, so we're telling you.
So we're letting you know. Also, Tyler just got back from Georgia where he met a sitting president of the United States.
Quite literally.
You quite literally met a sitting president of the United States.
I did.
Because he was not standing up.
I met Mr. Jimmy Carter, who was sitting in a
James
chair.
Earl Carter.
Don't know what his middle name is.
Me neither, but it's definitely not Earl.
No, but Jimmy Carter I did finally meet. Giant bucket list item, as most people know from me.
Tyler's from Georgia.
Yep.
Jimmy Carter is from Georgia.
Born and raised.
He was a peanut farmer, correct?
Well, came from a family of peanut farmers.
He
yeah.
came from a family of peanut farmers, but he wasn't a peanut farmer?
I don't know if he was professionally.
I always
or not.
thought the whole thing was that he was a peanut
He
farmer.
was a Navy man and then a politician. He grew up a peanut farmer.
I'm just waiting to hear more. I was just waiting to learn.
He was in the Navy, then he was a state senator, and then he was governor of Georgia, and then he was
State
president.
senator sounds like an extremely boring job.
Yeah, maybe.
We're being sent all kinds of weird ways because the Disney half marathon is starting, and it said exit this way, but this is clearly not an exit. We
Nope.
are going the wrong way.
Yep.
We're going to have to return
I
that
actually
way.
knew that. I just thought you were trying to see something.
Oh, no. We're supposed to be going down that sidewalk, but they have
Yep.
closed it. So now I'm really confused as to where to go. I think we have to go back to downtown Disney and around
Maybe.
this whole fence. They have Heimbucked our journey. So, Tyler, what did you do? How did you meet James Johnson Carter?
It was a really long process. Like, I had a friend that was going, and as most people know, Jimmy Carter is in bad health right now.
Yes, Jimmy
Yeah.
Carter has just recently been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
Everybody, send
It
your
is
good vibes
spread.
or pray
Yeah.
or do whatever you do for poor Jimmy Carter, a
Oh, we
statesman
might
of
be
the
able to
world.
sneak through right there.
Let's just sneak through right in
Yeah,
front of all the security.
Jimmy Carter had cancer. They took it off his liver, found out that it had spread. He now has brain cancer.
So he's undergoing treatment for
Yeah.
the cancer, and so you decided that
This might be my only shot. to
this
meet him.
might be your one chance to meet Jimmy Carter
Uh-huh.
because you're in California and he's back in Georgia.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, just because he's sick doesn't mean you'd have a chance to meet him. Why did you even have a chance to meet him?
Well, Jimmy Carter, for those that don't know, teaches a Sunday school class in his hometown of Plains. Tries to every Sunday. Has been doing it since 1981. I knew that this had happened, and I hadn't been able to do it yet. I had actually tried a couple times, unsuccessfully. But I had confirmed that he was going to be there that Sunday. I looked at plane tickets. I found some, luckily, that were very cheap. $125 each way.
Ooh.
$250 total.
Uh-huh.
I had someone that was already going that was going to let me ride with them.
Uh-huh.
So I flew across the country, took a midnight plane to Georgia.
With your arms?
Yep.
This is a weird lighting situation.
Took a red eye.
Uh-huh.
Then I got to Georgia, drove to the other end of the state.
Yep.
I'm from North Georgia. Jimmy Carter lives
For
in
those
South
of you who
Georgia.
haven't been in Georgia before, everybody knows California is a big state up across. So for those of you in California, don't think across, think up and down. Georgia's a big state. It's
Yeah.
a big, chunky, beefy state.
Yeah.
It takes how many hours?
Probably 8 from top to bottom.
Yeah, so you drove a 5,
Maybe
6 hour,
6,
a
7,
chunky
but yeah.
drive, like not a minuscule like across Rhode Island drive. We're talking
It
about
took
a
me
meaty drive.
5 hours to
Okay.
get from my hometown to Plains.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
You go there. You can get there at midnight the night before the church
At
service.
the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
But once you get there, you get your number to go in. They assign you a number.
So
and
you
then-
have to get there the night before to get a number to go in and meet Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
But
You can't leave.
you can't leave.
Yeah, so you have to spend the night in the church park.
So that's why you spent the night in the car.
Mhm.
I remember reading the tweet.
Yeah, so I spent the night in the car. I lined up. I got frisked by Secret Service. Not
That's
a bucket
so
list item, but
cool.
it happened.
Come on, dude. You know you were bragging to people though. Like,
Kinda.
you know what happened to me today, Mom? Secret Service.
My mom actually
Touched
didn't even
my
know I went on
upper
this trip
leg.
until a couple days ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so I went. I sat through all the instructions on what to do and what not to do when meeting a former president, a sitting president, as he wound up being.
Well, he sat down on the couch, so.
yeah, in a
Or
chair.
a chair, or whatever it was.
In-
Look at this, by the way. I'm going to face the camera around and explain why I'm doing it, because they're preparing for the big half marathon tomorrow here.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it. By the time you see this, the marathon will probably be over, but there you go.
Jimmy Carter then taught a Sunday school class that I sat in on.
Uh-huh.
He spoke for a long time, and then to meet Jimmy Carter, you then have to sit through the church service.
Okay.
So I sat through the church service, and then I finally.
How was the church service?
It was interesting.
I mean, it was in Georgia. Nice Georgia, southern Georgia, away off the interstate. Small little church.
There were
was
a lot
it nice?
of, lot of.
Was it a slice of Americana? I'm just picturing
slice of
Norman
Americana.
Rockwell painting.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of hymns.
Look
It
at
was
that.
very hymn
Look
heavy.
at that stage. There's the stage.
Yeah.
Big kickoff thing tomorrow. Very hymn heavy. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're not talking about like acoustic guitar type. We're talking about
No.
organ.
Organ choir hymns.
Old school. That's cool.
So then sat through, and then you got to meet the president.
But not the state of Oregon.
After the service, no.
Okay.
Yeah, after the service, you got to meet the president, get a picture with him. You basically walked up and they took your picture. You couldn't really speak. They didn't want you to touch him because since he's sick already.
Yeah, this is the part that I was super interested in. Is I was like, okay, how does the system of meeting the former president work? Because he's clearly an older guy. He's sick.
He's 91.
There's a bunch of people that want to meet him. How does this work? And you're basically saying they've got this down to a science.
Yeah.
Where they've explained to you, you don't speak to Jimmy unless Jimmy wants to speak to you.
Yeah, which is not because he's a jerk. It's because so many people are going up.
And he's an older guy.
Yeah.
We're talking about a man who's 90?
91, I think.
91 years old. Doesn't have the energy to be shaking everybody's hand or the immune system.
You can't touch him either, and the reason is, like, he would shake your hand under normal circumstances, but since he has cancer, he's taking all this medicine that destroys his immune system. They don't want him to get more sick.
So you can't just rub your germs and your bacteria right on his head like I'm doing to Tyler from my arm, which was drenched in Small World water earlier. I'm putting it right on his forehead
so
where he will lick.
what I did, like, you walk up, you kneel next to him, you look at the camera.
You kneel down before him?
I kneeled down next to him.
You kneeled down, what? I don't, explain this. Wait, what? Was he knighting you?
No, he's sitting in a chair, so like I walked up.
I was knighted by Jimmy Carter!
Like,
I'm sorry,
if you were
Tyler,
sitting down,
it doesn't count. I'm not going to call you
Sir
Tyler.
I would walk up next to you while you were sitting down and just kneel so we were at the same level. I didn't want to be above him.
Oh, so he was already down here, and you...
I just kneeled next to him.
So it wasn't like this.
No.
It wasn't like, yes.
No, I wish.
You have kneeled before me. Bow down to me. I spoke to Anwar Sadat.
Yeah, Anwar Sadat. He said Sadat had nice posture. So like they took the picture, and then you had to just go straight outside. Like that's it. You're done. And then right back to North Georgia. But you did it.
So here was my big question, and you can tell the folks at home, which are these folks, not the folks in your home of Georgia, but these folks here, which could be, are you from Georgia? Where are you from? Shout out down this way. Where are you from? Not like in a weird, like a gang way, but just, you know, where do you happen to reside? Metropolitan area. You can't say like, I live in Tulu, because I don't know where that is.
Nope.
I don't think anybody does anymore.
You might have just made that up.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the story is, the question was, so you can't speak to the president, but the president can speak to you.
Yes, and you can't answer.
So did the president of the United States from the years 1976 to 1980, did he speak to you, Tyler?
Yes, he did.
What did he say? Oh my gosh, it's Tyler freaking Evans, rock journalist, my favorite author of short stories and frequent appearancer on the Sometimes Vlog.
You know,
oh, that's awesome.
I subscribe. I totally subscribed. I showed someone today the Tree by Jungle Cruise because I saw your video on it.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
I have a channel
like the
too.
Still Dance. That's awesome.
Yeah, you have a channel?
I do.
That's awesome. What is it?
DJ Afro Ash. I freestyle rap.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so did the president? I did not understand
that's what you would expect,
there,
right?
But, okay.
No, but I walked up to him.
Yeah, I was expecting. And did you give him my message?
Oh,
I told you. I
wasn't allowed
texted
to
you.
speak to him.
Oh, that's right. But what did I text you to say to him?
Tell him Justin says hi. He'll know what it means.
Yeah, I texted Tyler right before he meets the president.
Yeah.
Tell Jimmy I said hi. He'll know what that means. Yeah.
No,
okay.
so
I thought it was a good text.
I came up, stood next to him. He's like, "Hey, I just want to say thank you for coming out today." And I had this whole speech I wanted to give him, but instead my brain turned.
Wait, what was the speech you wanted to give him?
I don't even remember now.
We're just trying to remember the gist of it. Like, give us the flavor.
I was just gonna talk to him about like how, you know, like being a kid from like a no-name town in Georgia and seeing another guy from the same circumstances like make it all the way to the Oval Office was always inspirational to me, and he was kind of a guiding light in my life. But instead,
right. Not that you maybe would have voted for him, but just that Georgia small boy.
I would have voted for him if I was in Georgia at the time. He was a Georgia boy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you're not being political.
No, I wasn't being political.
You're being like, I look up to you as a regional hero.
Yeah, so that was what was in my mind.
Right.
So I went up and he spoke to me, and then I said, President Carter, thanks for everything. And he was like, and then that was it. Like
does he still have his cool Jimmy Carter voice?
He sounds exactly the same.
Because he was looking a little thin.
Yeah, well, he's in his 90s.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
But his voice has not changed.
Did he have the voice of 1,000 summers?
Dude, he sounded exactly like he did, like in the Crisis of Confidence speech, like exactly the same.
Yes!
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter, that's the man who lost to Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You met a guy who probably met Ronald Reagan once. I'm just teasing you. It's fine.
But no, it was very cool. I'm so glad that I did it.
That is super awesome. I'm actually super jealous. I have often said this. I'll take any president I can get. I would meet Obama. Who wouldn't? I would meet George W. Bush. Why? Before anybody thinks I'm being political on one side or another, I'm totally being completely neutral when I say that. It's just that I feel like he was such a controversial president and such a big, crazy figure in our times that I feel like it would be pretty exciting to meet that person and see what he's like when he's just chowing down on pretzels and driving around.
Probably be pretty fun to hang out with too.
And the same is Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton seems like he would be a pretty funny guy to hear stories from.
Yeah.
He would probably have some racy stories about you-know-who and what's-his-face.
Oh, yeah. Sterling, Madeleine Albright.
Clinton, whoa.
And Al Gore.
Whoa, what's happening? Bill, yeah, and Al Gore.
Yeah.
I want to know what Al Gore's like behind the scenes, and I want to know from the mouth of the chief executive of Al Gore's face, Bill Clinton.
Yep.
I would hang out with any
hang out with any president.
It doesn't matter. So I am super jealous of you.
It was cool.
So
bucket list item crossed off.
I don't know that I could have sat still through the whole service.
Well, it was worth it.
I would have been too excited.
It was worth it.
What if you had to go to the bathroom? Then would you have missed out on your shot?
There were bathroom breaks.
There were bathroom breaks, like pre-assigned ones. So what was it like being like examined by the Secret Service though? Did you feel special afterwards, like worthier?
You know, honestly, it's like going to the airport kind of. Like you just put your stuff in front of you, they do the wand, they frisk you, and then you're good.
So it's not like they don't tell you at the end, like, you know, you've been found worthy, you're like a good person. Like you don't get to go home and tell your mom, like, the Secret Service says that I'm super cool.
No, they don't really give you that much time. So
did you ask him any questions? Like,
no, I didn't.
Did you go up to the security and be like, hey, you're like a guy?
What you have to remember, Justin, is the Secret Service's job is to murder you. So they're looking for reasons to do that, and you don't want to give them any. So if you're like, hey...
I want to argue with that, but you are... The Secret Service's job is literally to murder you. So, in case of emergency, murder.
So you don't want to joke around and be like, ah, because they'll be like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, so you don't want the whole, you can't say bomb on an airplane situation like in that movie.
So just be silent.
You don't want meet the parent situation with the Secret Service.
Right.
So you didn't want to, see, I would have said something.
Yeah.
I feel like you know me well enough to know that I would have said something and we would have got
arrested. Probably.
I don't think I would have got shot, but I probably would have got some stern looks or talking to.
Yeah. So I wasn't. I didn't want to ruin my chances.
Whenever I go to Washington D.C. and they know that they have those gates around the White House. You've been to the White House, right?
I have.
So I've never been in it, but I've been on the outside.
Me too.
And they have those little gates where you can, like the Porter gates, you can walk through and you can talk to security there, which is Secret Service. I always talk to those guys. I'm always like, hey man, what's up? Is the president home? You guarding him? And they're never amused. Like just 100%.
They're just like, yeah?
They're just like, sir, you can't stand here. I'm like, okay, cool. Same thing when I went to England and I would talk to the
Royal Guards.
The Royal Guards. And the Beefeaters are friendly at the Tower of London. They're supposed to be friendly, but those Royal Guard guys are
they can't.
Super. Yeah, they can't do it. But the thing is, what I didn't know is they're totally allowed to move. The whole they're not allowed to move and speak is bunk.
Oh,
they're allowed to move.
To kick you in the face.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. So the more that I was talking I was just talking about him in front of him, thinking he can't move. I wasn't mocking him or being weird, but I was talking loudly in front of him. And my ex-roommate, which was also your ex-roommate at one point, David, was with me in England, and he started just making fun of him.
Yeah.
He starts going in with the guy can't move, and the whole spiel, the whole cheesy cartoon, Homer Simpson tourist, ugly American thing. Ugly American in quotes, it's not my phrase, of, you know, like, the guy, whatever, and the dude turns his head and looks right at him, and then just turned his whole, like, just military turned his whole body towards him, and David's just like, he started laughing and just like started walking away, but I was like, it chilled me to the bone.
Yeah.
I was like, that guy could have seriously come over and shot him
and he was like
in the head with his toenails or something.
That's what you do.
His one job is also to murder, probably.
Yeah, I think they're a little less worried about it, but
yeah, I'm a little less worried about it because he was just holding a machine gun, so what's the big deal?
Yeah.
But no, he had a machine gun also.
Oh yeah.
Like in addition to.
Fair enough.
As well. I went to England once.
And well, I have not.
I want to go back.
I'd love to, yeah.
I want to go to the. But I also want to meet a president. So I went to England. You didn't. But you met a president.
I know.
You almost went to college at Oxford though, or something. Right?
I almost did, yeah.
It's a whole other story. And we're gonna leave you here because Tyler's on one deck, I'm on another deck, and we found out some crazy news today.
Oh no, here it is.
Which is that Tyler eventually, not now, nobody panic, but we've had a long conversation about this, and this is why the vlog was a little late today. Because Tyler and I spent hours walking around talking, and there's a lot to wrap our heads around. Is that eventually, in a few months, Tyler will be moving back to Georgia.
That's true.
So he went back to Georgia, he saw his pa, and not his ma, but theoretically your mom.
Yeah.
Just your theoretical ma. Your brother, the fam, the Georgia land.
Yeah.
Thought to yourself, well, a lot of reasons and things, which I'm sure you'll have time to explain on your own.
I'll unpack it later, yeah.
But basically, long story short, is like, there's things that you need to get done over there that you don't necessarily have to be here for work anymore. You can go there.
There's a lot of stuff back home I need to take care of.
There's some roots touching that needs to happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little emotional. You're gonna get a little emotional because we're friends, but it's not gonna stop us from being friends. But it's kind of like a big watershed, like a landmark. Like Tyler's gonna move back to Georgia, but not necessarily forever.
No, not necessarily.
You could end up in Paris for all we know.
Right. Just there's some stuff I got to take care of back home. That's where I'm gonna.
So Tyler had to break that news to me, and it was like super uncomfortable because we were on Periscope joking around. And then 5 seconds later, he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna move back to Georgia." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So we've been talking about that all night long. So now you have it.
Yeah.
But it's nothing crazy. There's no aha moment, right? It's like a million different little things.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you'll discuss
we'll
bits and pieces in the future.
There's no drama here.
No.
There's no big
There's plenty of drama here, but not about that.
Not about anything.
It's that time that you played dice with me and you ripped me off.
Oh yeah, we're playing craps.
We're getting that to before you leave.
I might be confusing our lives with guys.
Or that time that I was coming back from Walt Disney World and I showed up to the airport and Adam the Woo's girlfriend picked us up and said, "I just dropped Tyler off here. He's going to see Jimmy Carter," and you totally didn't invite me, bro.
Oh, you were in Florida.
I know, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just kidding, but that's super awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not one big crazy thing or moment. No drama. It's all stuff that we'll talk about more.
And it's also not happening tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm just letting you know that it did happen because it's like, dang. So.
Yeah, we're still dealing with it, still unpacking it.
Yeah, we're dealing with the fact that we're going to punch each other now forever. We're now enemies of the state, of each other.
But not really, so don't think that in the comments.
We're friends.
Yeah, it's all good.
We're like llamas.
Yeah. Who friend for life.
Does that? I don't even know where I was going.
I don't know either.
I don't even know where I was going.
I don't know either.
Anyway, that's why we were having we had a meal and a walk around, and then we had a drink, and then we had another 3-hour walk around because I don't drink, so the one drink makes me like, I need to walk this off for 3 hours, which we've now done, which means we've done our duty. And I know you're going to all want to comment about this like crazy, but just give Tyler a chance. Go follow him on Periscope, Tyler Brett Evans. You're going to Periscope about it, or we're going to do a vlog?
Yeah, I'll probably do a Periscope. I'll wait, of course, till after this goes up and everyone has a chance to see it. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Yeah, so maybe like Sunday night or something.
Yeah,
give it a Tyler Periscope. And then you'll find out on Periscope more in the coming days.
You're going that way?
I'm going up Mickey.
I'm going up here, man.
And you're going up Minnie. So it's like it's over. Our friendship and everything's over now.
No, that's
I'm totally kidding, because I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything's gonna be completely fine. All right, dude. I love you, bro.
Love you too.
But anyway, we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. You go that way. I go this way. But we're still friends forever. No, but seriously, that's pretty crazy, right? All right. Thus endeth the vlog. I love you all. Good night.